It's November 2nd, 1990. The Golden State Warriors and Denver Nuggets are lining up for what they assume is going to be a normal, uneventful season opener. However, what everyone in that stadium didn't know was that on that night, they would be witnessing history.
T.R. Dunn connects. Here comes Hardaway. Great move past Adams. Goes up with the left hand. Halftime winding down. Our score, the Warriors 87 and the Nuggets 83. 33 for Davis. Tied at 152. Mullen. Rejected Lichty, and Mullen has it, plus the foul. Oh, on the shot clock. Hardaway with a crossover. Hardaway got it. Oh, what a basket by Tim Hardaway.
You talk about digging deep.
31 for Hardaway. Dunn comes right back for the Nuggets. And that is it. The Golden State Warriors have won the season opener 162 to 158 here in Denver.
In one of the worst defensive performances in NBA history, an all-time record was set for the most points ever scored in regulation. I mean, seriously, how do you give 162 points in just 4 quarters? The defense that night was bad, but at least it was just one game. This season, the Washington Wizards have been downright awful. Despite Bradley Beal's best efforts, the team just can't seem to pull it together. At the time that I'm making this video, the Washington Wizards are 5-15, which is good for the second worst record in the NBA. This lack of success has made many ask the question, what is the main problem with the Wizards? How is a team with 2 of the best players in the NBA doing so poorly? Well, the short answer to that question is defense. Here's a graph of every NBA team with defensive rating charted on the x-axis and points allowed per game charted on the y-axis. The bottom left corner is where teams want to be, and the top right is where teams do not want to be. In that bottom left corner, you'll find elite defensive teams like the Lakers, Rockets, and Jazz. As you move through the chart, the defenses get worse and worse. Here are the Cavs, the Hornets. Here are some of the worst defenses in the league. And here are the Washington Wizards. Literally in a league of their own, the Washington Wizards are on pace to have the highest average opponent's points per game in NBA history. Yeah, it's bad. And although it's obvious to see that the Wizards have an awful defense, what is not so obvious is the reason behind it. See, the Wizards are actually second in the NBA in offensive rebounds allowed, and rank 3rd in second chance points allowed, meaning the Wizards have been staying strong on the defensive glass, are allowing minimal chances for the opponent to score off of a miss. Looking at these statistics on their own would lead you to believe that the Wizards are not the defensive catastrophe that they have shown to be. However, when other statistics are brought into play, this defensive catastrophe begins to really show itself. At the moment, the Wizards rank in the bottom 5 in opponent field goal attempts per game. This in itself is not a bad stat, but when combined with them being dead last in opponent field goal percentage, it becomes one. This poor stat is also very interesting when compared with the Milwaukee Bucks stat line in 2019. Last season, the Bucks were in a similar position to the Wizards, ranking last in opponent field goal attempts per game. Yet the Bucks also had the number 1 ranked defense that year as well. With this information, you might ask yourself, how is that even possible? Well, it's possible because the Bucks have a little thing called Giannis. Last season, Mike Budenholzer employed an interesting defensive strategy using Giannis' unique skill set. Though I'll not go into detail, the oversimplified effect of the strategy was that it forced the opposing team's big man to shoot open threes over any other type of shot. Obviously, the strategy worked in the regular season, but come playoff time, we all know how that turned out. Here's the problem with the Wizards though. They don't have Giannis. They don't really have anybody. I mean, you know it's bad when out of all your active players, Bradley Beal leads your team in blocks per game. And this, combined with the fact that they are last in blocks, opponent field goal percentage, opponent 3-point percentage, and field goals allowed, is why the Wizards are so bad on the defensive side. However, there is one stat where the Wizards are not at the bottom of the NBA. Do you guys remember that graph that I showed you earlier? Well, there's one team missing. Yeah, you thought the Wizards were bad. This season, the Sacramento Kings are on pace to have the worst defensive rating ever recorded. For real though, what are the chances of these 2 records being set in the same season? Huh. I'm just gonna leave that there.